Hello, I'm Sheriff Rambosk, and I want to welcome you to On Scene.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Dr. Wiegold, coordinator of the program, Do the Right Thing program with the Youth Relations Bureau. This is the sixth year, going into the sixth year that I've been doing this program, and I have to tell you, this is probably one of the most fantastic group of kids for doing things that I've ever come across in today's program. We have 10 winners each month, starting this month, which goes all the way through April, and it was very difficult coming up with an overall winner, because every one of them was worthy of being an overall winner. The program recognizes Collier County children who do the right thing, exhibiting exemplary behavior, performing acts of heroism. Since 1998, the Sheriff's Office has honored hundreds of school children in monthly ceremonies like these for positive behavior and for going above and beyond the call of duty. Since its inception, the Do the Right Thing program has presented awards to school-age children for achievements, such as rescuing a small child from drowning, finding a large sum of money and turning it over to authorities, jumping into a canal to save a friend or rescuing an individual, protecting younger children that are being harassed by bullies, or conquering a terminal illness. It gives me great pleasure at this time, on behalf of Sheriff Kevin J. Rambosk, we have Chief Williams to do our presentation.
Thank you very much. I tell the sheriff, of all the many things that I get to do, this is by far above and beyond and the best. So anytime he's not available to do it, feel free to send me over here. I'd love to do it.
This past school year at Pelican Marsh Elementary School, Emma noticed that the date on her milk carton had expired. She immediately notified the cafeteria supervisor. The supervisor checked the milk supply and found that all the cartons in the case were expired. Emma's quick and responsible action prevented other children from becoming ill. Emma, who is now in the second grade, was a first grader at the time. She loves to read, participated in the Girl Scouts, and is a tiny tiger brown belt in Taekwondo. Emma always follows the school-wide expectations to be safe, respectful, and responsible. She's an excellent role model in all these areas, and Pelican Marsh is very proud to have her as one of their students who always does the right thing. Elena has been accompanying her mother in her child care business since she was a baby. She has helped to care for children who have special needs, as well as those who are non-special need children. Elena learned a lot about child care from her mom, and she decided to take the American Red Cross Babysitting Boot Camp this past June. Elena became CPR and First Aid certified. The Collier County Red Cross said she is the youngest child in Collier County to become certified. Her most recent experience was assisting a little boy, age 2, who was hearing impaired to correctly adjust and place his hearing aids so that he could read and play. Prior to that, Elena helped take care of an elderly lady who was in hospice. The woman, who has since passed away, said that Elena's presence always was a joy, and and that Elena was her best kind of medicine. Thank you, Elena, for always doing the right thing. This past month at approximately 6 p.m., Jackson was riding home on his school bus after attending the after-school program. Jackson was a few blocks from his bus stop when he noticed the bus driver had suffered a medical emergency and lost consciousness. Jackson jumped into action and attempted to step on the brakes and steer the bus in a safe direction until the bus could stop. Jackson was able to avoid hitting a tree that could have caused physical harm to both him and the driver. Jackson, due to your actions and quick thinking for doing the right thing, you have potentially saved the life of the bus driver and yourself. This past May, a dispatcher took a 911 call from a 10-year-old girl named Bianca Perez after her grandmother fell, hit her head, and possibly broke her foot or leg. Bianca was amazing. She took charge of the situation, calming down her 9-year-old brother and her grandfather. She directed her brother outside to wait for help to keep him calm. Bianca started putting away the family dogs before the dispatcher even asked, and she kept reassuring her grandmother, who was crying in pain, that she would be okay and that help was on the way. The dispatcher thought she was talking to an older teenager, the way Bianca took charge, and when she gave her age as only 10 years old, the operator was amazed at her composure amid such a frantic scene. During the course of the call, her grandfather started having difficulty breathing, and Bianca had to care for 2 patients. Bianca, you deserve the Do the Right Thing award for a fantastic job you did during a very stressful situation. One morning before school, Bryce and some of his friends were on the field playing ball. One of the students was running with the football and tripped, hitting his head on a nearby chain link fence, causing a severe injury. Bryce noticed the student's head was bleeding profusely and immediately placed his own hand on the wound to stop the bleeding. Another boy gave Bryce a t-shirt, and he used that to continue to apply pressure on the boy's head wound and walked him to the building to find an adult. When Bryce was asked what made him put his hand on the boy's head, he said, "I watch TV." Bryce is a well-behaved, respectful student. His quick actions for doing the right thing and keeping everyone calm were outstanding. Bradley was involved in a life-saving situation this past March. Bradley was near the swimming pool when he noticed that his stepbrother, who had just turned 1 year old, had disappeared from the pool area. Bradley quickly looked at the pool and noticed bubbles coming up to the surface. Without hesitation, he jumped into the pool and rescued his stepbrother. Bradley, you are commended and congratulated for doing the right thing and saving your stepbrother from drowning. This past April, a road patrol deputy was dispatched to a rollover vehicle accident involving an ATV and another vehicle. The caller, Jeremy, stated that there were multiple victims. One was unconscious, another one was barely breathing with a severe neck laceration, and the driver of the car suffered a possible broken arm. Jeremy told the dispatcher that one of the patients was bleeding severely from the neck, and he was trying to control the bleeding. Upon arrival, the deputy was met by Jeremy in the street, talking on the phone, directing traffic, and explaining the accident to the deputy at the same time. According to Jeremy, he and his 2 friends were riding ATVs when his friends were struck by a car traveling the same direction. His friends were ejected from the ATV and thrown some distance. Both received severe injuries and were airlifted to the hospital. After seeing 2 of his good friends in a serious accident, Jeremy displayed exceptional leadership qualities. Jeremy contacted the boy's parents, directed traffic, used his shirt as a tourniquet to control bleeding, talked to FHP as a witness, and maintained professionalism and integrity at all times. One day during lunch at Lady High School, two students got into a heated argument in the courtyard area. As both students began to yell and push each other, a large crowd started to gather. The assistant principal approached the male students, and one of the students struck the right arm of the administrator. Rashad came to the aid of the administrator and wrapped up the combative student to prevent him from injuring someone. Other administrators and deputies responded to assist breaking up the crowd. Rashad, thank you for doing the right thing by coming to the aid of a Lady High School staff member and preventing further injuries. This past August, Richard was going door to door in his neighborhood doing fundraising for his school football team at Gulf Coast High School. Richard knocked on the door of one of his neighbors, but there was no answer. As he walked away, he could hear someone yelling for help from inside the residence. Richard went back and tried the door, which was unlocked, and entered the home to find an elderly gentleman lying on the floor. The 91-year-old man told Richard that he fell and broke his hip. Richard immediately called 911 on his cell phone and waited for fire rescue to arrive. The man had been lying on the floor for 7.5 hours. If Richard had not taken immediate action and acted responsibly, the older man might not be here today. Richard Connor Wiegold, you are receiving the overall award today for your quick thinking and responsible action in saving the life of another person and for doing the right thing.
Actions speak louder than words, and I think what we witnessed here today is we do have heroes amongst us. It is certainly my privilege to recognize the actions of these young adults and celebrate the award with them. Congratulations to all of you on behalf of Dr. Pat, the school board, and all the administrators with us today. I'd also like to thank the Sheriff's Department. They've been a wonderful partner over the years. The youth relations deputies, the Do the Right Thing, together partnering with the school system and the parents. I'd like to celebrate the parents with us today, and I'd like to give you a round of applause as well.
We hope you've enjoyed our program, and we look forward to seeing you next month. Thank you for being our partner for a safe community.